Cancer is the second most common killer in the world, and 40% of cancers can be prevented because they are linked to the things we do every day. They don't smell poisonous, they don't look dangerous, but they silently damage your DNA. These are the 7 everyday carcinogens that most people ignore, yet they are deadly in long run. The 7th is asbestos. Asbestos was banned in 90s to 2000s, but millions of older buildings and factories still contain it. Asbestos fibers are microscopic. You cannot see them. When a person inhales them, the fibers stay in the lungs for decades and may cause chronic irritation and scarring of lungs. Asbestos can cause lung fibrosis, scarring, and breathlessness. Asbestos can also cause cancer of the lungs and abdomen called mesothelioma. About 80% of mesothelioma cases are related to asbestos. It can cause pleural plaques also, thickened area of the lining of the lungs. Asbestos is harmless when intact or sealed. It becomes dangerous when material is damaged, cut, sanded, drilled, or crumbling. Then fibers are released into the air and inhaled. Just being near intact asbestos like tiles or roofing is usually safe. Touching intact asbestos is also usually not dangerous unless you break it. But a massive release of fibers, even repeated inhalation of tiny fibers, can cause disease years later, even up to 10 years later after exposure. Asbestos is found in insulation in walls, ceilings, attics, especially popcorn ceiling, roof sheets, floor tiles, pipe insulation, boiler coverings, and car brakes and pads and clutches in older vehicles. The 6th common carcinogen is diesel exhaust. Diesel exhaust was officially classified as carcinogen in 2012 by the World Health Organization, but millions of people still exposed daily in cities, highways, and industrial zones. Diesel exhaust particles are ultra-fine, smaller than 0.1 microns. You cannot see them. When a person inhales them, they penetrate into the lungs and can even enter the bloodstream. These particles stay in tissue, cause chronic inflammation and DNA damage, and may lead to lung disease years later. Diesel exhaust is strongly linked to lung cancer, responsible up to 7% of lung cancer in urban populations. It also increases the risk of bladder cancer. In addition, it worsens asthma, COPD, and heart disease, and cause stroke, and because the particles trigger continuous irritation and oxidative stress of blood vessels. Exposure is especially high in high traffic roads, construction machinery, and factories. Just living within 100 to 200 meters of a bus road can significantly increase the risk of lung disease. Choose walking routines away from main roads and avoid idling engines. Protective masks, PM 2.5 or higher filtration can reduce exposure. For home filters, the most effective is HEPA filters, high efficiency particulate air. The 5th important carcinogen is ultraviolet light. UV radiation comes from the sun, from tanning beds and some artificial lamps. Ultraviolet light penetrates skin cells and directly damages DNA. It causes mutations. UV radiation can cause skin cancer, and repeated exposure overwhelms the repair system, leading errors that may become cancer. UV radiation is the #1 cause of skin cancer. About 90% of non-melanoma skin cancers and 65% of melanomas are caused by UV radiation. Skin cancer is now the most common cancer in humans. In addition, chronic UV exposure accelerates skin aging, causing wrinkles, loss of elasticity, and dark spots due to collagen breakdown and oxidative stress. UV is dangerous whenever the skin is unprotected. under strong sunlight. Risk is highest from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. In high altitudes and near reflective surface like water, snow, and sand, exposure is even stronger. Tanning beds are worse. Even a single indoor tanning bed session increases melanoma risk by 20%. Prevention is possible. Use broad-spectrum sunscreens, wear protective clothing, a hat, sunglasses, and avoid tanning salons. First important carcinogen is alcohol. Alcohol is officially classified as Group 1 carcinogen by World Health Organization. This means it is proven to cause cancer in humans, on the same list as tobacco and asbestos. When alcohol is consumed, the body breaks it down into acetaldehyde, a highly toxic and unstable chemical. Acetaldehyde binds to DNA and proteins, causing mutations and long-term cellular stress. Alcohol increases the risk at least 7 types of cancers, including mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon, rectum, and breast cancer. For breast cancer, even one drink per day is enough to raise risk about 10%. For colorectal cancer, high alcohol intake increases risk about 50%. There is no safe dose. Studies show no level of alcohol is completely safe. Risk rises with every sip. Third place is red meat. Red meat itself is not banned, but it was classified as probable carcinogen in 2015, meaning that there is enough evidence to show a cancer link, especially when consumed in high amount over many years. The main danger comes from red meat is how red meat is cooked and metabolized. At high temperature like grilling, barbecuing, pan frying, red meat produces heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These compounds bind to DNA and cause mutations inside the body. The heme iron also in the red meat promotes oxidative stress and the forming of nitrous compounds, which damage the lining of the colon. Red meat is strongly linked to colorectal cancer. Eating more than 100 grams per day increases risk around 30%. On the second place is processed meat. It was recognized as Group 1 carcinogen in 2015 by the World Health Organization. This means there is conclusive evidence that it causes cancer in humans. It is classified in the same category as tobacco, asbestos, and diesel exhaust. Processed meat includes bacon, sausages, hot dogs, salami, and canned and smoked meats. The danger comes from preservation method. Nitrates and nitrates are added for flavor and shelf life, are converted into the body into nitrosamines, a powerful DNA damaging chemical. In addition, smoking and high-heat cooking release carcinogenic compounds like polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. The strongest link is to colorectal cancer. Eating even just 50 grams per day, it's about 2 slices of bacon or 1 hot dog, increase colorectal cancer risk around 18%, and high daily intake increase the risk even more. Processed meat is also linked to stomach cancer because nitrosamines attack stomach lining. Prevention is to avoid processed meat altogether when possible. The first and most important carcinogen is tobacco. Tobacco is most dangerous and widespread carcinogen in human history. It has been recognized as Group 1 carcinogen for decades, responsible for more cancer deaths than any other single factor. Tobacco smoke contains more than 7,000 chemicals, and at least 70 of them are proven carcinogen. This includes benzene, formaldehyde, arsenic, and nitrosamines. When inhaled, these chemicals directly damage DNA and cell, overwhelm repair system, and promote continued mutations. The strongest link is to lung cancer. Around 85% of lung cancer cases are caused by smoking. But tobacco is also a major cause of concern of the mouth, throat, larynx, esophagus, stomach, pancreas, bladder, kidney, and cervix cancers. Even the blood can be affected, leading to leukemia. Tobacco is addictive because it contains nicotine, which stimulates dopamine release in the brain, creating dependency. This makes quitting difficult, but benefits are immediate and powerful. After 1 year of quitting, heart attack risk drops by 50%. After 10 years, lung cancer risk dropped to 50%. And after 15 years of quitting, the risk of heart disease become almost the same as non-smokers. Prevention is absolute. Don't smoke and avoid environments with second-hand smoke, because second-hand smoking is also important risk factor for cancers.